Mainly, I like to know that 100%. Now, I might get this wrong because Brad's going to chirp up and say, "No, Dad, it's not that." Right. But my whole demeanour is that when we walk away from a job at the end of it, number one, you've got exactly what you wanted, and probably a bit more, hopefully. And secondly, you're happy with what we've done, so you'd have us back again. And in my heart, I would hate to leave a job and know that you get straight on the phone to another builder.
Everyone has their own ideas and kind of opinions on what should and shouldn't be done, like to kind of help the business grow. Yeah, it can be quite difficult sometimes to work with family in that respect.
It's great to work with our own family. Yeah, you do have your own way, but then you compromise and then say this is wrong and that is right. They have to accept it.
I was a commodity trader. I had a bit of a midlife crisis and went travelling and did something called the rocking chair test, where I looked back on my life as if I was 90 in a rocking chair and thinking about what I've achieved and what I've done and who I was as a person, and kind of realised what I was going to achieve if I continued going on that way would have been pretty soulless and empty. And then the idea just really gradually developed, where we connected the idea of opening a coffee shop which also provided jobs for people that were homeless and continued the same social element, but also looked at a way of making it sustainable at the same time.
A small business can adapt to a flexibility, so like just before you came, I had to make a red and purple posy vase for someone, and I'm going, were you born in the 70s? And she goes, actually I was, But a big business can't do that, can't be that personal. So I think you've got to retain the personal bit of it, and I think people have got to think where the stuff's coming from. A lot of small businesses are the backbone of who's making the product.
Here's a frame of bees with a little interesting queen cup in it. Let's have a look inside the queen cup. There are no eggs or royal jelly in it, so that means the bees aren't about to swarm, which is good, because that would make this a very entertaining bit of film if we had a whole bunch of swarming bees. All my movements over the hive are very slow. Fast movements irritate the bees and will arouse their suspicions about my intentions.
He put a tweet out one night and said, look, we're thinking about starting to sell cheese in Walthamstow, and kind of Twitter went into kind of meltdown. So we thought, right, there might be something in it. So we started selling at local markets all around Walthamstow for about 6 months, just basically selling cheese to try and get our name out and about. And then this place came up and we were like, it's prime spot, it's a great location. Didn't think we'd make a business selling purely cheese, so we thought we'd maybe diversify into some good coffee, craft beer, and that's kind of how it all started, really.
Obviously family will take liberties from you because they're family, but as long as you're running the show, you don't take liberties out of them. So if you draw the line and say, even though it's a family butcher's, it's not a school playground, it is a place of business, and everything's got to be done right.
It's nice to know that it's just family, where it's always a laugh, but it's got its bad side to it, because you can't take liberties with it too much. So, but it is fun. It's fun working with family.
Lots of challenges in here, actually. The biggest one is when we broke the pasta machine. So it was no one here in England that could fix the machine for me. So we had to send back this machine to Italy for a week and a half. We've been running the business from the kitchen downstairs. We did it, we don't know how, but we did it. After what happened, nothing is gonna stop us anymore,
Before I went into Rowley's Fudge Pantry in Brighton, I actually really didn't like fudge. And I'd only ever experienced what I call funfair fudge or fairground fudge. And so to suddenly taste fudge as it should be, sort of crumbly, melt in the mouth, I just thought, wow, I want to do this.
And of all our friends that were told we were going into fudge, I can only think of 2 that haven't laughed.
I'd say my favourite thing about running a restaurant is just when you walk through the door on a Saturday night. It's not even important that people don't know you or don't recognise you, but you walk through knowing that this is your restaurant, this is your brand that you've created, and it's absolutely packed and buzzing. And it's a fantastic feeling to just walk through the restaurant and everybody is having a great time, and you're looking at the food and the drink and you just think, I created that.